Okay. So usually the first thing I ask people when they come to me is, why do you want coaching?
Um, so my highest elo was like Diamond 4, like
Hmm.
60 something LP. And well, low diamond is basically my wall, my like ceiling, and for some reason I can't climb higher.
All
I'd
right.
like to. And
All
I
right.
also kind of have this feeling that I'm like, even though I'm diamond 5, which is still trash, I'm still lacking in a lot of um, aspects. I'm basically just a sort of a decent mechanical player, but that's about it. I have no idea about decision making, all the
All
conceptual
right.
stuff.
Yeah, that's something that you see more with one tricks. Like you're a one trick blitz player, right?
Kind of at the moment, yeah.
Kinda. Okay. Yeah. Usually people who one trick a champion are really apt at playing that champion, but and they usually get pretty high playing that champion, but they lack in other aspects, as you said yourself. Um. So, let's have a look at your op.gg first. Play Hollow
Okay.
Knight is your in-game name, right?
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
Correct.
Yeah, that I thought it was correct because I saw 212 Blitzcrank games. So let's see, Platinum 2. So you were Diamond 4 last season.
Yeah. This is my Smurf account, so it's
Okay, that's your Smith
this.
account. Okay, and you play on this account. You play mostly
Yeah.
on this account, or
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
right. Um. Oh, let's have a look. All right. Um. Let's see. Blitzcrank 55% win rate. That's actually pretty nice. 55%, nothing to be ashamed of. That's actually pretty good. And then Zyra is 49. That's your next champion.
Oh, actually, I've been playing Flex with my silver friend, and it counts the stats towards that too. And I wasn't really tryharding, so I probably have like
Okay.
a bit of a higher win rate in solo queue.
Okay. Did you play Blitzcrank as well, Reflex? Or
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
right,
That's why.
all right. And then there's Thresh, and that's only 12 games played, so that's not too many games, but still a 58% win rate. And Lulu, yeah, eight games played, 75% win. Do you play Lulu when Lulu's up? If
No.
Lulu's not banned?
No.
No? Okay,
No.
you should. Because Lulu is OP. if if you're if you let the enemy pick Lulu, then that's basically asking to lose.
Uh,
Currently, if Lulu is up, you should just pick Lulu because she's
well.
so much better than all the other supports. I would recommend if you want to win, I would
Yeah.
recommend picking up Lulu. You know,
Yeah. I get it.
if you're like I don't care, I just want to play Blitzcrank, I only want to improve at playing Blitzcrank, I don't care about Lulu. Then sure,
Yeah.
be my guest, go out and play Blitzcrank all the time. But if you want to win, if you want to climb, you should pick Lulu if she's open.
All right.
Okay. Then let's see. Let's have a look at your KDAs. Um, well, we'll just cover Blitzcrank. I guess that's enough. KDA is not bad. You average a 4.7 deaths in game. Um, that's a bit on the high side, I would say. But yeah. Well, Blitzcrank does engage a lot, and he sometimes puts himself in dangerous situations because he pulls somebody towards him. So I guess it's all right, but it's a bit on the high side, I would say. Usually
Mhm.
when you play games as a support, you don't want to get more than 4 deaths. That 4 is actually the maximum, I would say. If you die more than 4 times, that's a bit too much. So I would say you die a little bit too much, but it's not that bad. It's okay, but it's still a little bit too much. And then you have 2.6 kills. That's actually quite nice, I would say. Yeah, Blitzcrank does get a lot of kills because he just does a lot of damage. You'd never run Ignite though.
I used to, before I kind of like switched to Exhaust. I used to play Ignite all the time.
All right.
To just shit on lanes, and then it would hardly translate into other lanes. You get like one feeding champion, it doesn't matter.
All right. All
Um,
right. All right.
yeah, so exhaust is like a more flexible choice.
All right. All right. I get what you're saying. I would still say that usually Ignite is better on Blitzcrank because um Blitzcrank is the kind of champion who has to snowball. It's not like he has to snowball, but he's really good at it, and it really works into his favor if he gets ahead because he can zone. It just gives him a huge lead. If let's say something else like if Karma gets ahead, for example, Karma is another support that's being played a lot. If Karma gets ahead, then yeah, sure, it's still good, of course, because she's ahead and she can zone the enemy. But Blitzcrank is like you make one mistake, bam, another kill, another huge setback for the enemy team. So with Blitzcrank, Ignite is like a catalyst to completely explode your lane and make it so that the enemy can't do anything at all. So I would always recommend picking Ignite. And I get what you're saying about teammates or yeah actually enemies getting fed and then you know you can't do anything about it. With Blitzcrank, I wouldn't be looking to protect your AD carry in the mid game and the late game. I would just try to you know pick someone off, get vision, and hook them when they don't expect it, and then blow them up. And then you don't need ignite, you don't need exhaust. It doesn't really matter anymore. You just pick them off, and kill them.
Yeah, can
So
I say something?
yeah, sure, go ahead.
Yeah, so like this is Blight 2 or whatever. And a lot of times I would get my team ahead. I would like win lane, then roam mid, get a couple of kills.
Hmm.
And then we would have like a goal advantage, a kill lead, but people just like me included don't fucking know how to close games, right? And then
Yeah.
it's 40 minutes and I have ignite and it's absolutely useless unless they have some healing champions. And then Blitz can't really peel that much. It has to rely on items and E. So yeah, it's just that sure, like snowballing's cool, but it just people are dumb.
Yeah.
It doesn't. 50% of the times it doesn't work.
Yeah, we're gonna try to fix that a little bit because I watched your the VOD you uploaded previously, so I
Oh
kind of
yeah.
saw what was happening. Of course, I can't know everything from one game, but I kind of have an idea what's happening. Furthermore, the enemy doesn't know how to close either. So uh, basically, you're in the same spot, and Blitzcrank actually excels in that kind of situations because well, people don't know what to do, and they run around like chickens without heads, and then they get pulled. So that's actually in your favor, I would say. And I'm gonna try to teach you how to use that in the mid game and the late game to actually get
Okay.
get the ball rolling and get you to close the game. But we'll look at
Mhm.
that when we do the VOD review. Um,
Mhm.
all right. Then, as I was saying, I was talking about your kills. I think that's normal for Blitzcrank to have a slightly above kill ratio on as a support because yeah, it just does a lot of damage and he usually gets a lot of kills because it's kind of his thing. He has to get kills in lane. So and then a respectable amount of assists as well and a 55% win rate. So I would definitely recommend to keep playing Blitzcrank. I think you're good at him, and maybe you die a little bit too much, but it's not so bad. Your KDA is nice, your win rate's nice. You have a lot of games on him, so just keep playing Blitzcrank whenever he's open, except for when Lulu's open, and then when Lulu or Blitzcrank are not open, then I would recommend playing Thresh because your Zyra is not that good because you have 49% win rate and you die a lot in Zyra. So I would just have Thresh as a backup, and he functions similarly to Blitzcrank. That's not entirely the same, of course, but it's the same concept. You try to snowball lane, you try to hook people and get kills and snowball the game from there. So it's a similar concept. So that's my recommendations from looking at your opg.gg.
Uh
Um,
huh.
did you have any questions prepared that you wanted to ask me beforehand?
Well, like one popped up right now. So you said that I have like a bit of kills, right, for a blitz, and that's fine.
Hmm.
So uh, in in a lot of situations, I'm like, all right, maybe I should secure the kill, and I do, and I get the kill, and I'm like, god damn, the ADC should have gotten it. Or like in other situations, I see, and I'm like, okay, maybe I shouldn't hit him. He has like 100 HP, and then that piece of shit escapes. So should it be like a general principle of like securing kills no matter what, just using abilities, or not, or like feeding them to the carry, or is it like contextual? But a lot of times it's kind of hard to find out whether
I would
you know
I would
AD.
generally say that it doesn't matter. Just take the kill. If you think you can take the kill, just take the kill. And if you like, no, he doesn't have any summoners left, and there's no way he's gonna escape. He's gonna be pincered. Then yeah, just leave it for your AD carry. I guess it's just a learning process to be able to judge when you can give the kill to someone else or when you should be just taking it. And in the early game, I would definitely just take all the kills if you can, because if the guy gets away, that's just a waste. Uh, just try to kill him, and it doesn't matter if you get the kill or the AD carry. Um,
Mhm.
Once you've got a kill as the Blitzcrank lane, you can pretty much do whatever you want, and there will be more kills, and then the AD carry can pick some of them up. So it doesn't really matter if you get kills early game. I would just take him. Better to take him than to let the guy escape.
Uh-huh. All right, I see. Cool. Then, uh, so I've I've had like another coach session like before this one,
Hmm.
and the guy told me that we went over a bunch of concepts like jungle track and all that garbage. I mean, useful stuff. Okay.
All right.
So and it's really like, is there like a specific method to integrate all of that? Because when I'm in lane, there's so much to keep track of, to keep in your head. And before it was so easy because I was just playing blitz and I was relying solely on my mechanics. Didn't even think about whether I'm pushing or not that much. Now suddenly I have to track summoners, which is like a pain. It takes a lot of mental effort to deduce a couple of seconds from when you pinged and then add up the timers, and then you actually have to keep in mind to keep the timer track that thing too. And then like the whole jungler tracking is really complex, so like you look at the map, you see where he is at the CS and all that stuff. And a lot of times I forget that I have an active item and I forget to use it. And I've been playing with Locket for like eternity, and sometimes still I kind of short circuit and I don't use it, or like that I have ult. I'm just fixated on this one next move I have to do. I have to hit her, and then I use the hook, and maybe I'll use E because that's automatic. But then I have ult, and I should have used it to get a kill, but I didn't, and then the guy gets away. So like in high pressure situations, I kind of short circuit and I don't use all the resources available to me. I like flash. I could have flashed and killed him, that kind of stuff. So is there a way to like do everything right and use all you have to use? Like maybe a method to learn to do that? Like I've been playing League for a long time and I still have these problems. I still.
Yeah, well, let me start off by saying that when you do a VOD review with someone, if you get coaching from someone, they're gonna be explaining a lot of new things. So usually they just they pretty much crush you with new information, and that's really hard for someone to take in all at the same time. So and yet people do it because when you coach someone, you want them to profit as much as possible and tell them as much as possible, but you can't process that all of that at the same time. So usually I would say I will record this and then upload it to YouTube so you can watch it later, and then you can see what we talked about again, and you can focus on specific things if you want to. And that's also how you're gonna learn to implement new things, because when you just do this thought review and then you take in the information and then you start playing again without ever thinking about it again, you'll not improve that much, because it's just too much information to take in, and to maybe you'll remember one or two things that stuck out for you, and then you'll try to focus on them. But most of the information goes to waste. So I would recommend watching this video later, and then uh, just listening at everything I've told you and everything that the other guy told you, and then you're gonna say, okay, this game I'm gonna focus on using my ultimate if I have it up. This game I'm gonna focus on tracking the summoners, and this game I'm gonna focus on tracking the enemy jungler, and this game I'm gonna focus on warding, for example. You just pick one thing, and then you practice that, and then you can think about it after the game, like what did I do right, what did I do better, and what did I do wrong still, and that way you can focus on one thing at a time, and then once you've played a couple of games thinking about this one thing, then it'll be more natural, come more natural to you, and then after a while it's just second nature, because you've practiced it that much. But if you try to practice everything at once, or try to learn everything at once by listening to me talking about everything, you'll remember nothing, or maybe one or two things. So I would recommend, looking back later and then trying to focus on one thing per game.
And it's a given that I'll, like, for the first 5 games, for example, I'm trying to practice this one new mechanic. I'll probably lose, like, most of them, because I'm concentrated and I'm bad at the new stuff, and I'm not good enough at the old stuff because I'm not paying attention to it.
Yeah.
So I should just suck it up and yeah. Okay.
Yeah, of course. If you want to, you can practice things. If you're like, I'm gonna practice this, then you can do a normal game, or maybe a flex game if you don't care about flex that much. You can play those game modes, and then it doesn't really matter if you lose, and it doesn't cost you any LP or MMR on your main account. Or you can play on your Smurf, or if you do care about your Smurf, you can play your main. I don't know, but you can just pick one, and then play a game where it doesn't really matter, and you can focus on it, and then when you think you've got it down, you can play ranked again. If you're scared of losing, because in the end it doesn't really matter, because if you improve, you'll get better eventually, and you'll climb eventually, but it'll take longer on the short term. But in the long run, you'll get higher than you could have before. So
yeah, I know.
Okay. Did you have any other questions?
Let me think. Well, some like, should I always buy a Sidestone? Because the other guy told me that I should, and I should go deep ward. Like, Sidestone first item, I mean.
Are you serious?
I used to, like, before I had that session with them, like, alright, so before, I used to always do it because people told me to, like, whatever. And I would just ward the river brushes closer to the lane, and it was like a waste, kind of, because I had bad map warrants and it didn't help that much anyway. Then I started playing Blitz, and I'm like, well, if I get Mobius first and I go to mid at level 5, and I can get a pressure hook and get a kill most of the time, like, or a summoner. And that was, a better thing, you could say, because it was perceptible and it was a kill. And then, like, I had the coaching session, and it was like, yeah, well, what the hell, I should always buy this last time. And I'm like, why? Because I usually just, like, get a ward in lane, which I was told is bad, and I should never use sidestone charges in lane, like the lane brushes. And then he told me to deep ward, and then I started doing it. And I mean, yeah, sure. That's actually useful.
Okay. Well, I won't say that buying Moby boots first with the idea to roam mid, or to get a ward a little bit deeper so you can walk out safely is necessarily wrong, but I would say that it's wrong in 95% of games. And that's because first of all, buying Moby Boots is 900 gold, I think, so it's a little bit more than the Sightstone.
Yeah.
That's one thing, it's a little thing, but the more important thing is if you want to extend your lead on bot lane, if you want to get more kills after you've secured an advantage, you absolutely have to have vision of the enemy jungler. Else you have to wait until he like ganks another lane. But if you can put in deep wards, or you can just ward the Tribush or ward the river, then you have more room to actually make plays on bot lane. Because if you try to get an advantage in bot lane without having vision, without knowing where the enemy jungler is, you will get ganked, and you will die, and then you will lose your advantage. So in order for you to actually extend your advantage, which is absolutely crucial for Blitzcrank, you need to have wards and vision of the enemy jungler. Otherwise you can't extend your lead. Because if you play up, you will get ganked, you will die, and you will lose your advantage. And then it will be really hard to get back. Even if you go mid and you get a successful gank off there, that's really nice, but you know, if you can't play up in your own lane, then it's not worth it, I would say. Okay.
Okay.
Anything else?
No, nothing really comes to mind at the point.
Okay. Oh, if anything comes up, you can still ask me later. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna send you a link. It's for watching a video together.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay. There it is.
All right. Right, I'm in. Yeah, I'm in.
All right. So I'm gonna start playing the video. Just tell me if it works. I'm now playing. Is it playing with you?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll just play the video. We'll watch it together, and whenever I see something happen, I'll pause the video, and maybe I'll go back a little bit and talk about it for a little while, and then we'll hopefully learn something from this game. All right.
Yeah. Cool.
Let's go. Let's see. Okay. Starting items. Seems normal. Do you ever start coin?
No.
All right. What's your philosophy on the starting items? Why do you pick?
I don't have one.
You just pick. You always pick relic shield.
Yeah, it's just I don't really think about it. That's what people do, so that's what I do.
Okay. Well, people sometimes start coin on Blitzcrank, but I think relic shield is almost always better.
But the
I
thing
think coin is only good if you're not going to do anything in lane. But then again, if you're picking Blitz and you're not going to do anything in lane, then why should you pick Blitz? So it's inherently bad. So I would say relic shield is always better. Okay.
Yeah, but I never upgrade the relic shield.
Okay. Yeah, that's good.
I just end up selling it.
Alright, yeah, you don't need to sell it, but you can just keep it in your inventory.
No, when I need the slots, I mean, or like when I'm like $150 short of mobbies, I should just sell it and get money.
Okay, I wouldn't do that, but
no, I mean if it's like not laning phase anymore, like you rarely get pronks.
Okay, I guess you can do that, but I wouldn't sell it. It's still your resource, your income resource.
Okay.
Okay. You're watching. There are summoners and items. That's good. So you see that. Oh, all right. Let's watch this. Okay. Nice trade. Okay. For I'll pause for a little while. You saw that Lucian has a Doran's blade, and he doesn't have. Okay, and he has potions. He doesn't have biscuits. Okay, so and your Twitch has a longsword and 3 bots. So what does that tell you about this lane? How do you think you have to play?
I should probably go for trades because they have less sustain and
Yeah, really good.
which is like
Exactly.
yeah.
And you did a really good trade right there. You immediately hooked the Thresh. Okay.
Yeah, I did not have that thought in game, by the way. I just checked the summoners. I didn't really check the items because they're
Okay.
basic and shit.
Ooh, he could have killed him. All right. All right. So you first of all you should make a habit of doing that. So you were checking the items. I was thinking you were checking the items to look at what they bought and how you should play. But if you are not thinking about that, then you should be every game. If you see this, if you see those items, you should be adapting your playstyle. Okay, we'll go back a little bit. All right. Let's see. So there is now 3 minions, and you have 1 stack. All right. So when these 3 minions die, you get level 2, and they also have 3 minions who are a little bit lower, I guess, but it doesn't really matter. It's kind of the same thing. So you want to be pushing now. You can zone Thresh because he's low. He can't do anything. So you should be getting the level up here. So let's see what happens. And then okay, you get that minion, and then okay. So you weren't actually looking at the minion because you had the tab screen up. If you are looking at the minion, you see it dying. You can position more aggressively. Like look at where the Thresh is standing now, and he doesn't have vision in the bush. What would happen if you got level 2 when you stood like in the tip of the brush? What do you think would happen?
I know. Maybe he would have came up to try and ward and I could have hooked him. Is that what you're getting at?
Yeah. Even if he doesn't walk up any more than this, you can hook him and you can kill him easily. So what I'm saying is when you're about to hit level 2, you have to watch the minions. So don't pull the tab screen up, but just watch the minions. And if you know that this last minion is gonna, if it's gonna die, you're gonna get level 2, you're immediately ready to land the hook. Because your level 2 is really strong. Their level 2 is also strong, but you're already ahead because you won a trade previously against the Thresh. So you should be looking to fight when you get level 2. Okay, and then let's see what happens. The Thresh actually thinks he can fight you, and then you have to flash because you didn't aggressively position before. All right. So now you're flashing onto him. That is not necessary because you could just even if he hooks you, it doesn't matter. You can kill him. Okay. So yeah, and Thresh or Twitch could have expunged and you would have died, but he didn't. So. Or maybe he did early, I don't know. So and then now Twitch is low, but he has potions. He doesn't pop them though, but he has potions. Yeah, now he's popping them. Okay, so he's gonna sustain back up, and Lucian doesn't have a potion anymore, I think. Or does he? Alright, that hook is bad.
Yeah, I know.
So one thing you should know about Blitzcrank is you are only as dangerous as your hook. So if you don't have hook, you are not dangerous anymore. Which means the enemy can do what they want. So it's really important to not hook if you're not sure you're gonna hit it. Actually.
I'm like never really sure that I'm gonna hit it though. I thought that he would dodge back, but he was close to minions, so he just walked up. Okay. I didn't take that into account.
Okay. But is it necessary to hook here? That's the first one. Is it necessary to hook the Thresh there?
Yeah, probably not. They the guy is still low Twitch, so yeah, it was not good.
Okay,
yeah,
so
I didn't think
it's gonna. Okay, so it's well, When I ask whether it's necessary, I usually ask, do you have to fight here? Do you want to fight here?
Mm-hmm. And no,
Okay.
because
Okay.
Twitch hasn't sustained yet.
Yeah, exactly. Twitch didn't pop his potions early enough, so he's not healthy. If you hook the Thresh there, he flays, Lucian dashes in, double tap, Q double tap, and he's dead.
Yeah.
Right? So hooking is not always good.
Uh-huh.
Especially hooking like champions like Thresh or Leona or Braum or Alistar. So you should be very careful hooking supports and thinking. But you should always think about them. And now Thresh is walking up. Thresh is like, oh, Blitzcrank doesn't have hook. Okay, so you missed 3 minions now. You see that?
Yeah.
That's because you used your hook.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Lee Sin gets first blood on your jungler, and now he's okay. Lux gets the kill. Ooh, that was lucky. Okay, what happens if you hook there? That's again not a good hook. If you hook there, Thresh gets a free engage. He doesn't have hook though, so I guess it's not as bad, but he gets a free engage again. And Twitch would have taken a lot of damage because you can't trade because you don't have any minions.
Yeah.
If you trade there, then you'll get minion aggro, and the Lucian and the Thresh are pounding Twitch, and he's gonna lose the trade. So you don't want to trade there.
Yeah, but we were like close to the tower there. Doesn't that mean something? And we get
no. It doesn't mean anything if it's not in the turret range. If he's not gonna get a turret shot, it doesn't matter at all. If it's just before, just in front of the turret, then it doesn't matter. Okay, so now Twitch is really low because they could trade for free because they didn't have hook. Again, Lucian just dashed in. There's nothing you could do. He can't do that if you have hook up. If you have hook up, he's never gonna dash because if you hit the hook, you're gonna pull him into turret. So not having hook is actually very detrimental to your lane. You should only hook if you're sure you're gonna gain an advantage out of it. If you watch pros play Blitzcrank, they almost never hook in lane, but they could hook at every moment. It's not like you're not doing anything, but you're positioning in a way where you can always hook. All right, this is nice. And then Twitch has to back off. All right, that's free damage. That's nice. But Twitch still takes a little bit of damage. But this is good because you pull them into turret range, and then Lucian can't do much because it's so far away. Okay, you have to be very careful now because Twitch is very low. If you engage a fight right now, he might die. So you have to be thinking of that.
Yeah.
All right. You're helping in last hit. That's good. Nice. That's good. Now he has to back. So when your AD carry backs, you have no. He's not backing. Okay, but ooh. Yeah. You can't do anything about that. That's just, smart by them. It's really cheeky. Okay. And now you're just picking up the XP. That's also good. Alright, nice buy. So you should be aiming for Sidestone as fast as possible, so buying the Ruby Crystal is obligatory, and then the boots are a nice addition to that. You don't have a pink ward though, but it's not that important yet. So, it's whatever. Okay. Now you have to be thinking about the lane right now. Alright. So trying to go for hook there is good, but it's maybe a little bit too predictable. But
That's why
it's not bad. It's not bad. It's good to you know try engage, but if you can't do anything, but if you can't do anything, that's fine too. But you should try. And then you know, missing your hook here it isn't too bad because you have minion advantage. So they can't really do anything to you right now. What's that sound in the back?
It's my mom packing up. She's leaving. Whatever.
Okay. So how's the lane right now? Let's evaluate the lane. You know, you've backed once.
They have an advantage because they have a kill. So and they have a kill on Lucian, and we're pretty behind, so we're kind of losing.
Yeah, you're kind of losing. So now it's even harder to hit a successful hook because if you hook Thresh, he has a free engage and he's probably gonna win. Twitch has the skill as well, and you haven't checked Lucian's items or Thresh's items, so you should actually check them if you get back to lane. Check what kind of items they have. And,
I have that.
Oh, you did that. Okay.
Yeah, I pressed tab. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't see what they had. I was looking
had
for
a
it.
BF.
Okay, I had BF. Sorry. Well, then it's
And we have like a lamp scan.
That's really dangerous. Then you just wait until until your Twitch has a Blade of Ruin King, until you can do anything. Now they also have more minions than you, so you can't do anything. Alright, and now the minions come towards you. So
I actually noticed that I just go brain dead on hooks, and I don't, like, a lot of times I just Elise in his bottom. And I didn't see him, by the way. He was like, okay. I could have seen him.
Yeah, you should have seen him. And yeah, the hook is also really unfortunate. You can, if you react a little sooner, you can pull in the Thresh into the turret. That would be good. And then afterwards, if you're not that fast, you can still hook the Lee Sin, but you hook the minion, so that's unfortunate. Okay, helping the Twitch, that's good. Okay, Warwick is asking for assistance around the dragon. Where did he go? Alright. Alright. Zone him off. No, don't hook him! Okay. Oh, that's slow. And then Malphite's there. Alright, let's re-evaluate that. Let's go back a little bit. Okay. Here's the last hitting. Now bot lane disappears, and Lee Sin is seen dragon, Malphite is top, and Echo is mid, and your laners are also in the lane. So you don't know where bot lane is. Can't see them. Okay, Lee Sin jumps out, so you can assume that the bot lane. Okay, now you see the bot lane. They were camping the bush again. They did the same thing. Lee Sin is around. Echo is missing right now. Malphite is also missing from the map, and you should know that he has TP. Because if they don't call, you know, if Shen doesn't call TP, then he still has TP. Okay. Now what's gonna happen here? The bot lane is coming. Echo is missing. Twitch is still in lane. Lux is still in lane.
Yeah, I guess we'll get collapsed on first, and they'll have an advantage because their laners moved sooner.
Yeah. They're gonna move sooner. They're gonna 4v2 you, and you're gonna lose. You're both gonna die. You do have Shen ultimate though, but that still makes it 3 versus 4 with backup, I would guess. But pulling in Lee Sin here, You don't want to do that because basically you want to wait for everybody to get here and then fight. Because you might be able to fight if you're like 5 versus 5, but not like this. So you want to go back and then let the dragon reset, or let Lee Sin go in by himself and then maybe you can hook him out. But you don't want to hook him towards you, but then because then he can smite it for free. Or, you know, it's not for free, but he's level 7, Warwick is level 6, so it's gonna be easier for Lee Sin to get it than for Warwick. And also he has the Q, so.
Yeah, want to hear my reasoning on this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I was not aware that mid lane was missing, even though Lux pinged. I was not aware that top lane was missing. I didn't even look at those lanes.
Okay.
I saw Lee Sin, and I saw that the Drake had plenty of HP, so I thought that we would not be able to rush it before he comes. And I thought we could explode him. Like, when I hook, like, maybe Warwick does damage and Lee's kind of squishy still, so that we would kill him, and then maybe either, like, finish Infernal or not, or, you know, or back off, whatever. But for some reason he doesn't fight him, and then Echo comes because he didn't count for that, and yeah, we get fucked.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, I didn't have awareness of both mid and top leaving, and I thought that Warwick would follow on the hook, which he didn't, I think.
Okay.
Well,
first of all, it's you know, it's of course it's really important that you do track the enemy. If you want to go for an objective and there's going to be more of them than of you, then you shouldn't try to go there for that objective because you're gonna die. So that's first things first. That's already what I told you. But then again, but still, if you are 2 versus 1 and you hook this Lee Sin and you're like, we can kill him, we can blow him up. He has a shield. He has escapes. He has he can smite the dragon for HP. It's not like he's
also has
gonna die.
ult, he can like kick Warwick. Yeah, he could have just ulted Warwick and then Warwick is melee.
Yeah. Well, Warwick can also ult Lee, I guess, but
yeah, like I think if he ulted him, he would have killed him. It just didn't work out.
yeah, because the Warwick is like he's like scared that the Lee Sin is going to take the dragon, so he's like, I gotta finish this dragon because otherwise Lee will take it. So you just put him in an awkward position, and even then, if that happens and you kill Lee Sin, then you will still die afterwards because the enemy is coming. Okay, let's see what happens. So you hook him, and then actually immediately everybody's there. So the Warwick is like, I'm not gonna fight this because we're gonna die. So they disengage. Lee gets a dragon. You try to kill Lucian, but Lux, you know, Lux is a little bit slow. Lux is not mobile, so she can't get there immediately. And then Malphite is mid right now, so he's coming as well. Shen's already
I didn't
there,
see him.
but Twitch is not, you know, he's not coming. He's being zoned by Thresh. Alright, so here you collapse onto the Echo.
No, I was not gonna kill him. I just wanted to, like, you know,
Peel.
CC him.
Yeah,
Probably
okay.
run. Yeah.
Okay. So, but you go for the Echo, he can't do anything else. He doesn't have ultimate apparently. And then you should have looked earlier. Okay, and now Malphite's here and they re-engage and you all die. And now finally Twitch is there, but he couldn't do anything about that, right? Because he was zoned. He was being zoned by Lucian and Thresh, and then Thresh afterwards. If Thresh hooks him, throws the lantern back, somebody gets to him, he dies immediately. He can't do anything. So that's just a really bad fight. You shouldn't have been doing that dragon, you shouldn't have hooked Lee, and you shouldn't have fought. Okay, awkward. What the fuck? Don't take the blasting cone. Okay, he dies.
I was like, maybe Lee could use it, so.
Yeah, okay, that's good thinking, but just go CC him, and then when he's CC'd, then kill the blasting cone. And then if he jumps away, then you can hook him. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna skip forward a little bit. Okay, so you're looking out at the map. You're like, I can maybe roam. I can maybe do something. That's
Yeah, I got
good.
mobbies. I didn't get sights down, as you can see.
Okay. This is good. Alright, nice. Good job. Now, what are you gonna do now? Let's see. You don't have any wards except for a pink ward. Okay. That's good, and that's actually a really safe pathing, so nice. Okay. So, Lee Sin is top. Okay, what's gonna happen? Okay, Lee Sin is mid. And Triss is also mid. Okay, now you're going mid. Alright. So I think when you saw Lucian middle, you should have been looking to go middle as well. Because if he's middle, then nobody can kill Thresh, and they can just push mid, and then Twitch can be on his own in bot. It's fine. Lee Sin was top as well.
Yeah, I was like,
Okay.
look, I wanted to go mid, but then Lux went back, and I was like, usually when I come, I'm just useless.
Yeah, that's
Like,
true.
I just
but
stay near the
yeah.
turret, and they take
I get what you mean. You feel like you're useless, but if you're a bot, you're also useless. And if they do something stupid in mid, then you can respond like you're already there. So
That actually makes sense. Right.
and bot, nothing's gonna happen bot because there's no one there. Okay, yeah, you can hook him into turret. All right. Lux doesn't have snare, so whatever. It doesn't result in a kill, but still a good hook. Still good. Alright, so the Twitch was being cocky, just walked through it. Alrighty, that was close. Ooh. Nice.
We did not get him, by the way.
That's sad. Maybe you could have done an extra auto attack. You were like,
Yeah, I was like,
you're just,
Lux is ulting.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's
she's
gonna
get him,
die,
but then she
yeah.
gets exhausted.
Yeah.
As
Yeah,
DC
you're
the
usually using your abilities and then not auto attacking at all. You're just walking away. So you can't actually do anything else besides auto attacking. So just auto attack the guy. Doesn't matter if you get the kill. Now he gets away. If you auto attacked, then he wouldn't have gotten away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes you just end up with like 6 kills and I'm the most fat person in the team.
Who is?
I had these moments. I was like 6 kills one time.
Oh yeah,
And, like,
sometimes
a lot
that
of times
happens.
it
Yeah. Sometimes that happens. That's not bad.
Isn't that bad?
No.
It's,
If you're the one who's actually making plays and setting things up for your team, then that's good. If you know what you're doing, then it doesn't matter that support has a lot of kills. Besides, support items are actually really strong at the moment, so you know, having that redemption early is actually really good. Having that sidestone early, having that those Moby boots early, it's actually really good. Okay, you see them all walking top, and you decide to go deep port. That's
I did not
good.
see, I did not see him walk it down. I was just like, what am I gonna do? I have my sidestone. Maybe I should deep ward.
Yeah,
I did not use the vision.
You should always, whenever you're gonna you're deep warding, you should do so when you know that the enemy jungler is not there. Okay. The ultimate was a bit late. If he had a flash, he could have flashed. Yet you're always trying to look to chain the CC with your allies. So once Warwick's done ulting, you ult. You know, just before he ends his ult. So there's absolutely nothing in between. No time frame where the enemy can flash or can use an ability. Oh, that's close. Yeah, now gets in. Okay, you can.
I was actually thinking that Thresh would flash. I didn't know if his flash was up, and I was focused to try and hook him when he flashed, but he didn't. So
Okay.
I'm not sure if they probably didn't have flash, or maybe he thought he was fucked. Just
Yeah, if they have flash, they're gonna flash your hook anyway. So then just force the flash. That's the only thing you can do when you know
Can
they
you
have
pause?
flash. When you know pause, yeah, right. What's up?
Yeah. So when I was deep warning, what
Yeah.
if I don't know if the jungler is there or not.
Okay.
Should I never deep ward if I don't know if the jungler is there or not?
Yeah,
Like
well,
never do that?
not never, but if you're behind, never. If you're behind, never, and if you're ahead, it still depends. If you know that the jungler is there, or you don't know where he is, he might be there, then you can only deep ward if your mid laner can follow, or your jungler is with you, or your AD carry is with you, because you're not gonna kill him 1v1, even if you're ahead as
What if
Blitzcrank.
I just run? I'm a blitz. Like
Uh,
I do
yeah,
ward before walking into the
okay,
brush, so I can like just run away.
okay, but maybe their mid laner is pushed up and he can collapse because the enemy jungler says, "Ping ping, there's a Blitzcrank here, come get him, it's free," and then you have to flash,
Right.
right?
Yeah. Okay.
So
Yeah.
and even then, if you're in an even scenario, you're probably not gonna get one shot by Lee Sin. But if there's like no one coming to help you, he can chase for a really long time, and when he gets 2 Qs off, he might be able to kill you if you don't have
Okay.
flash. So then
Yeah.
you'll have to flash. So it's still a risk. I would say you should deep ward whenever you see the enemy jungler go top lane and mid lane is either in the middle or pushed towards the enemy, because otherwise you don't know if it's warded there. If you do have a sweeper, then you can sweep, but sweeping doesn't reveal every ward everywhere, so they might still see you, and then if they come, they can just kill you. The mid laner will
Okay. So
definitely kill you. If the mid laner can roam towards you when you're deep warding, they will kill you. You
uh-huh.
just can't escape.
Right. So another question. So I go back, I get 3 charges. Where should I place them in this situation? We're behind. Where should I ward? Um, right now.
Okay. Let's see. You lost your first mid turret and your first bot turret, so uh, you should be looking toward your blue buff and the entrances to your jungle. Yeah.
Okay.
Also, I think dragon is not too far away, so getting a ward in a dragon pit might be hard, but if you can, that's good.
How did I not get killed when I get wards in jungle? In our jungle at this point.
What? Wait, can you
How did I
repeat the
not
question?
get killed? How did I not get killed? So that sometimes I just try to ward the left
All
entrance to
right.
the blue jungle, and there's the drake and it's up, and they just fuck me up.
Yeah.
What happens?
Okay. Well, basically, the same rules apply as when you're deporting, as when you were deporting before. You have to look where the enemy jungler is, and you have to. Okay.
Didn't see him.
Yeah. So now you have to flash. When your mid laner is there, you still have to flash because you didn't know where they were. So
Yeah.
at this point, it's really important to. Whoa. Yeah. Everything is so slow. People use their abilities so late.
Ah, it's shit AO for you.
But to get back to the warding thing, basically now that you don't have vision and you're behind and your first turret mid and bot is gone, you should be warding, with the same things in your mind as when you're deep warding in the early game or mid game. You have to know where the enemy jungler is, because if he's there, he might kill you, and if middle is pushed towards you, then the mid laner might also be there. So if they are there, you're gonna die, or you have to flash, at least. So you can't do that unless your jungler is with you, or your mid laner, or your AD carry. And even then, if you're really far behind, then they would just kill you both. So it's really difficult to actually get wards in. You shouldn't be
Uh-huh.
always just walking in and warding. It's the same for Baron, because people are often flaming because you didn't ward Baron, but there's actually nothing you could have done, because if you walk in, then you die, and it doesn't matter. If you walk in as 5, you're still gonna die probably. There's nothing you can
Uh-huh.
do anymore.
All right, no wait, pause it again, please.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So another question. All right. So I'm going. I just went B. I'm walking out of the base, and I saw they just did Drake. Which wards are safe to place? Suppose I know that the bot line is pushing, they'll probably try to get bot turret tier 2. Which wards are safe to place in ES4?
None. You can't play wars safely now. You first have to push out mid and bot, and you have to know where the enemy jungler is, and then you have to take at least 1 or 2 people with you to get a ward in. Because if Thresh is there and another person is there, you get hooked, you die. You don't have flash. So there's no safe wards that you can place on your own.
Okay.
So the only wards you can do are wards that are over wall from the other side of the wall.
I see.
Okay. Yeah, those kind of hooks are not bad, but you.
I walked up a lot.
Yeah, what the first thing is, Lux used her abilities, right?
Yeah.
Lux used her abilities to try to get him, and she missed, and then she doesn't have any abilities. She only has her ultimate, if it's up. It's not even up, so she has no follow-up. And then Twitch is farming the minions on the turrets. He's not walking with you. And then you just keep walking, keep walking, keep walking until you're almost in the middle of the mid lane, and then you hook somebody. That's, you know, you can win that fight because you know you're 3 versus 2, but they're just gonna run away. And it's not gonna amount to anything. So it's not
Well,
bad, but it's not gonna amount to anything.
Well, I also didn't. I mean, we had vision of some of their laners, but they didn't take that into account. I was just blindly running from it. They could have been all there.
Yeah, they could have been, but theoretically they could have been, but they were all top. So
but I didn't know that.
You didn't know that. So whenever you go for a hook, you should also remember, where is the enemy team? Do I want to fight? Because your hook is an engage. Your hook is an engage. So if you engage a fight, you have to know that you're gonna win it. So
yeah,
when you can't just hook randomly, it's not like it. Sometimes it's not an engage because it's just picking somebody off because they can't be there, and you hook somebody and then he dies, and then it's not even a fight. It's just a pick. You can do that sometimes, but if the enemy team is right there and ready to help him, then it's an engage, and then you will team fight. And if you can't win the team fight, then you will lose, and you will all die, and you will lose turrets. So you have to be really smart when choosing to hook. Okay. Mark is trying to do something, but you actually killed him. Yeah. Okay, so you hooked the Thresh and you killed them, which is okay, I guess, but your whole team died because you didn't peel for them. But Blitzcrank's not that good at peeling. You should be actively looking for opportunities to hook them and put them in a disadvantaged position. So that was actually good, but then whenever they just engage onto you and you can't do anything, yeah, that's not good. That's a bad situation to be in as Blitz. Okay, it's nice. So they're just, taking turret after turret, killing you over and over again. And that's mostly because you're not doing the proper engages. This guy overstays, that's bad. Thresh can't do anything. No, he can't do anything. Okay. He thinks he can save this guy. Oh, that's unfortunate. Where are you going? What the fuck? Okay. Were you thinking like if I stand near the wall, if they walk this way, I can maybe hook them over? Is that what you were thinking?
Yeah,
Okay.
because I was low on HP too. I could not have just went in. I would have probably not gotten a hook off if I just walked, if I just followed them. So I was thinking,
Okay, that's actually pretty smart. I didn't think about that, but that's smart because you wanna you actually wanna keep chasing, but you can't because if they focus you, you die. Yeah, if they're smart, they're not going to walk close to that wall, but you know they still do. So that's actually pretty smart. Nice, good job. Okay, what are you? Okay, what are you looking to do right now? Yeah, I guess you were trying to defend bot lane now, right now, because
yeah.
go in Twitch. He's too tanky. Oh, that's unfortunate. This takes such a long time. It's like, yeah, you have to defend this because otherwise they're gonna take this turret. But on the other hand, you're wasting so much time doing nothing.
What we
But
should have done instead.
yeah, I don't know what you can do because you're so far behind already. Usually when there's time for you to breathe because you just killed a couple of guys there, so that's nice. You have you have a breather and you can do something. But then there's this echo immediately TPing towards top, and it's not letting up the pressure. Okay, this is a nice hook. That's good. Nice. Lux has some serious damage. Okay, you have to be careful. Yeah, this guy's gonna run away, right? Chasing the Lee Sin is like completely useless because he has so many jumps. He's gonna dodge your abilities. Oh, and then the re-engage comes, yeah. Alright. So chasing there is not good because it's 3 versus 4. Even if you get a fight off, even if you get the engage, they'll win because they have 4 people and you have 3.
Mhm.
At this point, it's really hard to actually get something done, get anything done, because what I was saying is you finally get some kills onto some guys, but then they immediately TP after TP top. And then you just you don't get a chance to do anything. So usually when you get some kills, you want to put a ward at Baron. So if they're back up and they want to do Baron, at least you can see what they're doing and get some wards in your own jungle. That's what you want to do when you're behind. Get some wards in your own jungle, and then when some guy's walking there alone, you can hook him and you can maybe get a pick. Okay. So Malphite doesn't have ultimate, but you still don't want to fight here because you're not gonna kill them, and if you keep attacking them, trying to kill them, then the enemy team is gonna come, and because it takes so long. Alright, you're clearing some vision, that's good. That's the only thing you can do right now, so getting the ward at Baron is really good, and then clearing the vision in your own jungle. Put in some wards, that's actually what you have to do. And now it's, if you do have the wards, then it's just looking for someone who steps out of line, and then hook them. But they're so tanky, this Echo is almost unkillable because he's really tanky, and yeah, this is not gonna work, he's just gonna run away. And then this happens all the time because they're putting so much pressure everywhere, and you have to deal with them, but you can't actually deal with them because they're so tanky. Yeah. Now Lux isn't there, and Malphite's still pushing. So you're so far behind. They're just pressuring all the time. You can't kill them. Yeah, Malphite has ultimate, so he's gonna absolutely wreck your day. Don't hook him there because he wants to get in there. The Lucian wants to get in there and kill people.
Mm-hmm.
You're only gonna make it easier for them to kill you if you hook him. Okay, that's the end of the game. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where we'll lose.
Alright. So basically this game was over pretty quickly. I think mostly because of that dragon fight, because everybody got ahead there. Their Malphite was there, their Echo was there, their bot lane was there. Everybody got ahead. So that's clearly the turning point. So let's see if we can find that again. I think it's here. Okay. Yeah, it's after this. Okay. Let's look at that again. So this is the turning point. And so I don't like to use terms like it's your fault, but this is where you could have done something else that would have been better. Initiating the fight here is a really bad idea because whenever you're hooking, you should be thinking about whether you're gonna win the fight. So when do you win the fight? Generally, let's say it's an even situation.
Um, when we hook a squishy, we can insta-give him? No?
Yeah, that would be good, but you know they might have they might have heal and flash, and it's not that late in the game, so don't people don't get one shot. More in the general sense, before you're even gonna hook, what are you thinking about in terms of whether you should fight or not?
Um, I'm not sure what you want me to say. I don't know.
Okay. So, let me start with something easy then. Um, if there's 3 guys from the enemy team and there's 2 guys from your team, are you gonna win in an even setting?
3 guys from the enemy and 2 from mine?
Yeah.
No.
No. All right. So before hooking someone, you want to know how many of them there are, and how many of you there are. If their number is greater than your number, you shouldn't hook.
Mm-hmm.
In the general case, if you think they don't see you and you can hook them and they get one shot, then sure, you can hook him. But with 2 people, he's not gonna die instantly. If you hook him like into 3 people or into 4 people, 5, then yeah, maybe he's gonna die instantly and you have a nice pick. But if you know their team's around and you have less people there than they have, then you're not gonna win the fight. Maybe you it can still be that you one shot this guy, but then there's still more of them and they kill you all. Kill all of you, right? So the most important thing is just to count the players. If there's more of the enemy than of you, then you shouldn't fight. Generally, that's something to start with. And of course, there's a lot of nuance to it because, you know, it might be the case that you're way stronger than them and you can win the 2v3, or maybe you can hook them under the turret and it's really good, or maybe there's 3 people there and you're 2 people, but they're all really low and you're full health. So it's not like it's always bad to hook somebody when you're outnumbered, but you have to think about it. And in the general case, it's not a good idea. All right? Is that clear, or do you have any questions about it? Hello? Oh, all right.
Uh, hello?
Hi.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Alright, no
Um,
problem.
yeah, you're talking about that I should look at the numbers and then decide whether I should hook or not.
Yeah. Did you get the part where I told you there's a lot of nuance? So, if you can hook somebody on a turret, it might be different. If you can blow them up, it might be different. If they're really low and you're full health, it might be different. But in a general case, if there's more of them than of you, then you shouldn't fight. Right?
Yeah, I had this. Yeah, I had this problem when I think that we can blow up, but then we don't, and I'm like, what? And then we lose the fight. So there is that.
Okay, yeah. So generally, don't expect people to blow this guy up because they don't know what you're gonna do. They don't know whether you're gonna hit the hook. They are not prepared. They're slow on their reaction because it's like low diamond, high platinum, so they're slow. And it might not, it might not happen. And even if I also said, if even if you can blow this guy up, if there's more of them than of you, then they might still kill you all of you afterwards. So,
Mm-hmm.
uh, yeah, try to think about that. And then, of course, there's a lot more things that you should think about. If you hook this guy, let's say it's an Alistar, you're gonna
Oh
get
yeah,
wrecked,
yeah, totally.
right?
Yeah.
So that's obviously also a thing. And if you hook a Thresh or a Lee Sin, the same thing might happen. It all depends on the situation. So you should constantly be asking yourself, can I hook this guy? If I hook this guy, do we win the fight? Because if you just hook whatever you can, you're you know you're gonna miss one. You're gonna miss a lot of hooks. You are missing way too many hooks. So when you don't have hook, you're a sitting duck. So that's really bad. And then secondly, you hook at the wrong times. And you hook the wrong person. So you have to be constantly thinking about whether you can actually hook. And when you're behind, that's not a lot of times. When you're behind, you should be saving your hook for when they engage, and then try to pull this one guy away from your AD carry and try to get the rest of your team to kill him or something. That's the way you should be playing Blitz when you're behind. But honestly, if you want to win with Blitzcrank, you should be constantly looking to expand your lead and to actually get kills in lane, get kills early, get a lead, and then constantly trying to surprise guys and hook them. And if you're behind, it's really difficult. Then you just try to ward your jungle, and if some guy walks over there alone and you can hook him over a wall into your team, then yeah, you can do something with that. But otherwise, there's not many cases where you can actually hook somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so hooking the jungler towards the dragon or the baron is generally a bad idea. Hooking people who are chasing your team is generally a bad idea because you only help them. Hooking champions that can engage is usually a bad idea because actually you just got them into your team. So the general advice is just you should hook way less and just walk around and make him scared because you do have the hook and you can hit it. But if you use it and you miss it, then you don't have it. You can't use it and you can't hit them. You can't hook them, so they can do whatever they want.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's everything. Blitzcrank is just hooking people. It's the only thing. And he can do a lot of things with that. He can get a lead early, and then people can't do anything anymore in your lane. If the jungler comes, you can 2v3 if they overextend. You can even if you're behind, you can just pick somebody off, and get in a 5v4 situation where you can actually do something. So he's wonderful for comebacks as well. And then when you're ahead and or maybe when it's even in the late game and you have this stalemate where no one can really do anything because if one guy steps up and he gets engaged upon, he's gonna die, or you can't do Baron because if you start it and then the enemy team comes, you're gonna die. So nothing happens. Then Blitzcrank is ideal because he can make something happen. He can, when one guy isn't paying attention for 1 second, you can grab the guy and you can blow him up, and you can, then it's 5-4 and you win the game. A late game Blitzcrank, you hook this one guy, this one Lux, this one Twitch, you kill him, you win the game. It's that impactful if you do it well.
Yeah, but I mean, in late game it's kind of difficult because people rarely, walk alone. They usually with their team.
You think so? You think people rarely walk alone in the late game?
Well, that's how it is. Like if I see a dude,
it's not how it is. That's absolutely not how it is. Maybe you don't see it that much. Maybe you don't see it that much when the enemy does it because you don't have enough vision. Maybe. But if you look at these games at high plat, low diamond, guys are constantly overextending, constantly going alone, constantly thinking they can 1v5 or something. It happens all the time. And Blitzcrank's just great at those situations. In those situations where you can just pull this guy when he's not expecting it. But you do need vision for that. So in the mid game and the late game, it's just really important. If you're ahead, try to get vision. They can't walk into you because you have hook. If they come to you, you can hook them. So you can just go into the river with your team, and then put down some wards. At the entrance of their jungle, so you can see them when they come towards you, and then you just wait. You have 3 minutes until the ward times out, and then when somebody makes a mistake, you hook, and then you win the game. That's just what you do in the late game. You just have to be patient. Wait for somebody to make a mistake.
So in late game, we just get wards where they walk, and we stack up somewhere, and then get a hook.
Yeah, you don't even have to stack. You can just walk around a little bit, push out mid, then duck into the bush again. They don't know where you are. You might be doing Baron. They have to check. Then they come and you hook them. They die. That's what you do. That's what you do as Blitzcrank.
Okay.
That's when you're ahead, and then when you're behind, you can only. That's really hard for Blitzcrank, but he can still do it. If you ward your own jungle, and there's this guy who thinks he's already won the game, he's there on his own, he thinks he can ward everything on his own for the support or the jungler, or maybe he thinks, oh, I'm going to do this wraith camp, it doesn't matter, we can't lose anymore, and then you hook him and you get the comeback. That's how you do it, Blitzcrank.
Okay.
So vision is really important. Getting vision. In the mid game and the late game to actually get the hooks. All right. Are there any other? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, is it like a general principle what to think in order to ward correctly? Like it's mid game and I want to ward. What should I consider?
All right. Well, we've already gone over the part where you think about whether you can actually go ward there.
Yeah,
somewhere, like in a quadrant. So that's done. We've done that. And then where you should ward, you should be looking at objectives basically. So you look what turrets are up, their turrets, your turrets, and then you can draw a line between the turrets that are up. And if you cross that line, you're in enemy territory. That's dangerous, and anywhere before the line you can put down wards safely. That's usually no problem because especially when the lanes are pushed up, you can get help from your team if somebody comes. So that's usually the safe warding. You can always do that. Draw a line between the turrets and then don't cross the line. Just put a ward down there, and then if you don't get any farther, it's good. So why you would want a ward somewhere is because either you want to take one of the turrets that is close. So say you're gonna ward their bot lane jungle because you're a little bit ahead and you want to extend your lead and you want to go to the next objective. So bot turret is gone and mid turret is still up. You're gonna ward at their red buff, for example, and at their raptor bush. So you can see them walk there, and then you're gonna push mid. And if there's people around, you can see them in the jungle because you have wards there, and you can more safely siege the turret mid. So, for
Mhm.
example, if they have a fiddlesticks, and you want to get the next turret, then you have to have a ward in the enemy jungle so you can see him. Because if he's like in the raptor pit, and you're sieging the turret, you're auto-attacking the turret as Blitzcrank, melee, and Fiddlesticks ults over because you didn't see him, you're gonna die. Even if you're
Mhm.
ahead, it doesn't matter because you're gonna die. He's gonna do a lot of damage. For example, it could also be a Lee who's gonna, insect you or whatever. Could be anything. So getting vision so you can safely siege the next turret is really important. And then, of
Mhm.
course, there's not just turrets, but there's also Dragon and Baron. So in the mid, in the early and the mid game, Dragon is really important. So if you get the bot turret, for example, and you want to extend your lead, you should be warding again red buff and um, the Raptor camp. You can ward the Raptor camp. That's a good ward, but you can also ward behind the red buff, like in between the pit and the red buff, so you can see whether someone's over the wall, and then you can just hook him into the pit, for example.
Mhm.
Um, and of course, pink wards are really important. You cannot just put pink wards anywhere because they can be killed. So if you draw lines between your own turrets and you put them like past the line, deeper into enemy territory, they're pretty easily to kill. But you can they're pretty easy to kill. But you can also bait people out to who think, hey, there's a pink ward here, I'm gonna kill it, and then you just stand in the next bush and you hook them in, for example. Um, but generally, if you put them, behind the lines between your turrets, then it's fine. They can't kill it, and it's just safe. It's you have vision for if someone enters your under jungle. So those are really good defensive wards. But when you want to get ahead, when you want to make the next move, then you'll have to move the pink wards up, so they can see you there. And if they don't see you, then you can just sit in the bush, and if they come and you do have vision, then you can hook them. Because if they see you, then it's also really easy to dodge the hook, or maybe just not go there,
Mhm.
right? So pink wards and sweeper is also really important for Blitzcrank. So you can clear vision, so you're absolutely sure that they don't see you, and then you can make picks a lot easier.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay, does that answer your question a little bit? Or should I cover
Uh.
Baron as well?
Um. I mean,
Because
I guess.
it's pretty much the same thing as Drake, but do you want me to cover it?
Um.
Now's your chance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
So for Baron, um, when it's like mid game, late game, and it's past 20 minutes, 25 minutes, then that's the moment you should be starting to look for Baron if you want to make the next move. Especially when you've already taken like the outer and the inner turrets, and there's only the inhibitor turrets left, and it's really hard to get those turrets just by sieging, because you can't come from the back. You can't. Basically, you can't flank them. They are really safe. Those turrets are really strong. There's a lot of terrain around, so you can't move freely. So that's really it's way more difficult than the other turrets. So then you want to be looking for Baron. So basically, what you want to do, if say you're blue side again, like this game, and you've taken the inner and outer turrets on mid lane and top lane, then that means that their blue jungle, like their northern jungle, is like your jungle because the turrets are gone and they can't do anything. Especially when you're playing Blitz, they can just face check because they are gonna get hurt. So you walk into their blue jungle, you sweep everything so you know they can't see you. You put down wards, for example, behind the walls, like in the bush next to the wall that's beside the first mid turret, behind the wolves. Do you get what I mean? Or
Yeah.
okay. And then at blue, at the crossroads, for paths meet with the blue in the bush, or maybe just at the middle of the crossroads. And then you have two wards who can basically see everything, and then you just go towards Baron. You put a pink ward there, and if there's no wards, then you can just start Baron, and if they come, you see them coming because you have wards, and you just ping like this guy's coming. I'm gonna hook him, get him, and then he's gonna come because he's scared the Baron's being taken, and then you hook him, and then he dies. That's what you do with Vision. And it's similar for when you're red side. It works the same way, but then the wards are in a different position. But it's the same thing. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Did you have any other questions?
No, I don't.
Okay. So what's the first item you build?
Sison.
All right, and then.
And then boots.
Okay. Do you build Face of the Mountain?
You ask me if I should do it or do I do it?
Yeah, what do you think? Just doesn't matter. Do you think? Do you build it? Do you do you always build it?
No.
Okay. Do you sometimes build it?
Rarely, very rarely. I usually just rush Locket.
Okay. Okay, that's good. So Locket is a good item for Blitzcrank, but Redemption is also really strong.
Yeah, I just built Redemption second. That's good.
Okay. So when you're like fighting a lot and you're in the fray, you're being targeted as Blitzcrank, then having a Locket is really nice because it gives you a little bit of armor and magic resist. So that's really good. But generally speaking, Redemption is a better item. It's just that strong. It's so strong that you should buy that item first most of the time.
I see. When I get Redemption, suppose there's like a teammate fighting, and it's just difficult. Like it's a valuable active ability, so you shouldn't just spam it every time, right? And it's difficult to kind of predict how the fight's gonna probably end in order to understand whether you should use it or not.
Yeah.
And then it's too late, and
Yeah, you just have to practice with that because of course you can know how to use it immediately without ever trying it. You should just buy it and try it. I agree. Locket is way simpler. You just press the button and then you get shields. It's easy. But Redemption is that much more powerful. It's just so good. It heals more than the shield that Locket gives you, and then it also damages enemies for true damage, and it can also clear minions. It gives vision. You can use it when you're dead. It's absolutely broken. So, and it has ridiculous range. Did I already say that? It has ridiculous range. So
yeah,
it's way better. I would buy Redemption all the time.
When should I not buy Redemption first?
Now, if you're like scrapping a lot and you're in the middle of the team all the time and you're being focused, then it might be nice to get the resistances.
It seems like you're telling that a person like a Blitz should build Redemption when he's getting focused, not when the enemy has a lot of magic damage or whatever.
No, doesn't matter.
You should buy
because Locket Redemption does what Locket does, just keeping your team safe in team fights, protecting them. But Redemption just does it better. So if you want to protect your team, then you should buy Redemption. If you want to protect yourself, then you should buy Locket.
But like when you get Locket, you're protected against burst. When you have Redemption, you're not.
Yes, I guess that's true. Because the active is faster. Yeah, I guess that's true, but I would still buy Redemption.
Right.
Because it's rarely the case that people can actually blow this guy up without any counterplay or without you seeing it coming. So I would just say that Redemption is just better in almost all cases.
I mean, yeah, the other guy that coached me, he said that like those are two items that you should build. Then you just see whether they have like a lot of burst damage, you get Locket. If they have like more like sustained damage, you get Redemption. So it just depends on the situation.
Right, right, yeah. That's yeah, that's not wrong. That is true. But I think redemption, you should buy redemption first because it's just that much that much better of an item.
Okay.
Even if they have burst, if there's like nothing you can do to prevent this guy from dying, then yeah, I don't think the locked shield is gonna help him either. So I would just buy redemption. That's just my take on it.
Right.
But yeah,
Right.
locket
Okay.
is also a good item. It's not bad. It's really good, but redemption is absolutely broken. So
Okay. I'll keep that in mind. Okay.
all right.
Um.
Did you have any other questions?
Uh. So if I'd ask you to formulate in simple terms, like I know, like three things that I should improve on, and maybe like what I should be thinking, not just I have to, like a simple catchphrase or something for everything, so that I could keep it in mind and then just like memorize it and repeat it to self when I practice.
Okay. Um, first thing is uh, I need to think about how I want to phrase this, but I would say thinking about using your hook. So not just hook all the time, but thinking about using your hook. So are you gonna win? Are you gonna win if you hook that guy? That's basically what I want to say. So you have to think more, and also about whether you're gonna hook, because sometimes you just hook into nothing and then you lose pressure. So that's one thing, and then even if you hook, do you win? That's the two things that encompass that phrase, right? So thinking about your using your hook. Second thing, I would say getting vision to extend your lead. Getting vision to extend your lead, because if you don't have vision, you can't play up. You can't do what you want to do on Blitzcrank. You can't end the game. That's also a thing that you struggled with. So to get to the next step, you have to have vision. So getting vision to extend your lead. That's the second thing. And then the third thing. Hmm. Hmm. I don't know if I know a third thing. Of course, there's a lot of little things that you're not doing that well, but I think those two are the main things that you should work on.
Okay.
And then I would say being quick is also an important one. Being
Can
quick.
you like even how do you help that? It's like alright, there's like natural reflexes, or there's a lot of game knowledge, so you basically know what's gonna happen next, and you even if you have shitty reaction time, you can predict it,
Yeah.
ahead, like a long time ahead, so you can.
Yeah.
It's just how do you specifically practice to be faster?
I would just say play a lot. That's actually the only thing you can do. Being quick and being decisive is just a matter of knowing what to do at what situation, so you don't have to actually think about it when it happens, because when something happens and you have to think about it first, then your window of opportunity might already be gone. You get what I mean?
A lot of times, yeah.
So if Lee Sin is lane ganking and you have a ward, then you have to be thinking, okay, so they might want to engage, and I should be looking for an opportunity to hook somebody into the turret so we can turn the gank. So when it actually happens, you're not like, whoa, he's jumping in. But you're like, I got him, Q. Immediately.
Yeah.
And you don't have to think about it anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
So and how do you practice it? Yeah, just play a lot. But and playing a lot of the same champion also helps, because if you especially with these kind of things, if you're playing Blitzcrank and you have to make the split second decision of whether you're gonna hook him, it's just a matter of practicing a lot and doing a lot of games and getting into a lot of situations, and then if you start thinking about whether you can hook in the situation, because you can go into lane, you're like backing, you're coming back, and you can like think about, okay, what are our items? What are their items? Can we fight? If I hook this guy, do we win? How much health does he have? Where is the jungler? How many minions do we have? Can I pull him in the turret? All those things you should be constantly thinking about, and that when an opportunity presents itself, you can immediately press the button and you can go for it.
Mm-hmm.
So being quick and decisive would be my third phrase.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But like,
yeah.
There's no point to write it down because I can't practice specifically for it. So it's just playing the game.
No, well, yeah, but you have to think about what I said about constantly thinking about the situation and whether you can hook, whether you can engage. That's the most important thing. But because that connects into everything. It connects into, you know, if I throw this hook, do I win? If I throw this hook, will I hit it? Do I have if I have vision, I can actually extend my lead. I can hook, because if I think about it, if I think about hooking people but I don't have vision, then my answer is almost always going to be no, I can't hook him, so I have to have vision. And being quick on it is also part of that, comes from thinking about whether you can hook people in this situation, because if you know this is going to happen, if you know this guy is around, and you immediately know if you can hook, and you don't have to think about it anymore. So it all ties together.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Right? All right.
Yeah.
Well then, would that be satisfactory?
Yeah. If there's nothing else you can say, probably, because like you're the mentor guy, you're probably aware of more things than I am. So it's kind of on you to close it up.
All right. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of little things, but I think you should be focusing on these things first, and then, you know, when you get better, you can go into the more minute things, because there's a lot of big things you're still doing wrong. So then I would say just focus on these things, and, you know, throwing more info at you might not be beneficial.
I guess, because, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Maybe I should stop worrying about similar timers at the moment.
Well, yeah, no.
That's a headache.
Timing summoner spells is really important, because when you're thinking about, you know, can I land my hook, you have to know if they have flash, right?
But I mean, no, even then, I don't know if the guy's, maybe he's trying to dodge, maybe he doesn't, like, I don't fucking know whether he's smart enough to flash. I don't know whether, even if he has flash, I still cannot completely predict whether he will flash or not. Maybe he'll save it, you know.
Yeah, but, you know, at least he can flash, right? If you know he doesn't have flash, then yeah, sure, you can hook, but he's not gonna flash, right?
I guess it's more important to know whether they do not have flash. Yeah, I see.
Yeah, but if they do have flash, it's like, okay, if I'm hooking him here, he's dead, so he has to flash. So you can burn his flash. That's also good, right? So if he does have flash, then it's you still need to know, right?
Yeah. Maybe if I'm really good, I can like do a mad life.
For example, if you know he has flash and you have flash, and you get a jungle gank, and they don't see it coming, you can just flash onto him, knock him up, and then when he flashes, you can hook him.
Uh-huh.
Right? That's a play you can make, because you know what kind of summoners they have and you have. And if they don't have flash, you don't have to flash onto him. You can just walk up.
Man, I've had this shit happen, and then like I don't account into the fact that they have like a split second to walk to the right, so I just hook with a flash, and they already like made a small movement and they dodge it.
Yeah, that ties into the quickness and the decisiveness.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of practice. Playing a lot of games.
Okay.
Alright. And I want to close it up for now.
Yeah.
I think you were a good student. You had a lot of questions, and you... yeah, that's good. You're thinking about what you should be doing better, so that's really good. So I wish you good luck, and then if you feel like you're ready to take it to the next level, you can come to me again, and I'll happily oblige. Alright?
Alright. Great. Okay.